In our quest for material success, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. The story of the industrious rich man, as recounted by Jesus in this enlightening passage, reminds us that wealth and happiness are not always synonymous. Through faith and the teachings of Christ, we can find the path to true fulfillment and inner peace. Today's message comes from the book Jesus in the Home by Neio, Lucio, psychographed by the medium Francisco Xavier. Chapter 21. The Industrious Rich Man. James, the oldest disciple, gave an invaluable talk about the longing for wealth, so commonplace amongst mortals. When the family discussion ended, Jesus commented, smiling. There was a God-fearing man who was dedicated to uprightness. He read a lot of advice on prudence, and he tried to work hard in order to store up a treasure that would benefit his family. After heartfelt prayer, he went to work at a number of different businesses, anxious to achieve his goal. For 20 years, he put away coin after coin until he had managed to build a patrimony of a few million. When he stopped working in order to take a look back at his work, he was greatly disappointed to realize that every area of his life had changed without him even noticing it. His home, which was once humble and happy, had taken on a somber mood. His wife had become a slave to 1,001 obligations intended to kill time. His children whispered amongst themselves, speculating as to what would be their share of their dead father's inheritance. His loyal friends had deserted him. Believing him to be completely happy, his neighbors fenced him in with envy and irony. The local authorities forced him into a duplicitous attitude of artifice that was completely in disagreement with the sincerity of his heart. Businessmen constantly visited to propose criminal or improper business dealings. His servants flattered him with obvious pretense when he was within earshot, only to curse his name behind closed doors. Due to so many disruptions, he was compelled to make his home into a fortress to protect himself against everyone and everything. Now he had the time to take note of various bodily illnesses, and he rarely made it through a day without stomach problems or headaches. After a few weeks of close self-observation, he concluded that the fortune he kept in his coffer under lock and key was the reason for his endless disillusionments and regrets. One particular night, he could no longer bear the worries stemming from his newfound status, and he prayed in tears, begging for the Lord's inspiration. After the moving prayer, an angel appeared to him on the evanescent screen of a dream and said to him compassionately, "Every fortune that flows like the crystal clear waters of a spring is a living blessing, but all wealth that lies in useless repose is a poisonous well of stagnant water. Why did you demand a river when a simple cup of water was enough to quench your thirst? What inspired you to stock granaries to overflowing when a few grains of wheat were all you needed for a meal? What made you hoard hundreds of pelts around the home when a few bits of wool were enough to warm your grave-bound body? Go back and convert your coin chest into a miraculous coffer of salvation. Extend the joys of work. Build schools to sow spiritual light and distribute happiness to the multitudes. On earth, money is only worth the good it can do." Unspeakably shocked, the chaser of gold awoke transformed, and from that day onward, he began to unleash his enormous savings so that all of his neighbors could join him in the blessings of service and goodwill. At the first hint of his spiritual renewal, his wife stared at him strangely and repulsed. His children hated him, and his beneficiaries thought he was crazy. However, revitalized and happy, the industrious millionaire began enjoying an open sanctuary in his home once again, and the spirit of hidden happiness returned to live in his heart. The master became silent, and James, who was in charge of that evening's stock, exclaimed enthusiastically, "Lord, what a priceless and sublime lesson!" Jesus smiled and responded, "Yes, but only for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see." As we reflect on this powerful lesson, let us remember that the blessings we receive are meant to be shared. By extending kindness, generosity, and love to those around us, we not only enrich their lives, but also cultivate a spirit of joy and contentment within our own hearts. May we always seek to align our actions with the divine will, finding true wealth in the goodness we spread. So be it.